always talking loud. What do you talk about? I'm never on your level as you're screaming. I wanna break these habits. I cut them one more time. Maybe too polite, yeah.
Welcome to the LUMR Podcast, that is London Underground Music Review. We are now audible and visual. Thanks for tuning in. This week on the pod, we have the dynamic duo DBMK from St. Petersburg, Florida. They make experimental indie pop music and recently put out their EP, Jump in the Dark. Thanks for being on, you guys. How are you doing?
Excited to be here.
So do you want to introduce yourselves by name so people can kind of maybe differentiate your voices?
Oh, yeah. Sure, yeah, because we do talk really...
We talk the
really
same.
You go.
I'm Colton, and I play drums in DBMK.
And I'm Kyle, and I sing the songs in DBMK. Well, we both write them.
We both write, yeah.
Okay, so first set of questions. I'd love to know, I always like to know the band origin story, as well as kind of the band name origin story, because that's always interesting.
Basically, I started a band in high school, and it was like a songwriter and producer sort of collaboration thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Into a live band type thing. That sort of turned into what DBMK is now, just by, I kind of kept the project going under the same name, and there was like one big sort of lineup switch up, and then there was kind of a crossroads moment where the people that were helping like the early DBMK songs come to life live had to make a decision whether or not they want to stay on or not. As fate would have it, I started working with he was just kind of making graphics and editing videos and making general content and stuff for DBMK. And that is our current day creative director, Phil, who introduced me to this kid. I was like, I just booked a tour. The first time we're playing shows out of state. I need a drummer that just wants to just destroy his instrument all the time. And Phil introduced me to Colton. We met at a Starbucks off of Highway 60, and the rest is history.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
And then here we are today with you.
Does DBMK stand for anything, or does it just look like cool on t-shirts and stuff?
It looks cool on t-shirts.
It definitely does on t-shirts.
It did used to mean something. As Kyle said, like DBMK used to be a complete different thing.
Yeah.
And with us joining together, we just kind of figured it'd be a little bit easier to like stick with the same name, and then it ended up sticking with it been resonating with a lot of people. So
we kind of we tell people now that it just kind of means whatever you think it means. That's
whatever you want.
Okay, cool. I like
that seems to work for us so far. So we're gonna keep
with that. Yeah.
So you guys have been compared with Billie Eilish quite a bit, sort of that dark indie pop vibe. Is there anybody else that you look up to sound-wise, or any sort of musician role models you have?
We have like we kind of talk about this all the time. I consider us to be as much. We just love to study music. We're like obsessed with everything music.
Yeah.
A large part of our process is kind of just gathering, as we call it. So there's so much music that we listen to all the time. So we draw inspiration from like every corner of the globe, every decade of music and everything like that. But lately it's just been a lot of like, we've been looking at some poppier stuff actually we've been looking at groups like Brockhampton is a big one. We're always kind of like into that, like, well, right now we're really diving into like our industrial 9 Inch Nails, like Trent Reznor.
We're into like so many things, and I feel like when Kyle and I kind of came together, he was on kind of one side of like what he listened to, and I feel like on the other side, and so when we're able to bring that together and like bring different influences in, we are both like very big fans of Billie and everything she does. So it's really crazy to be like compared to that in any form. But yeah,
it's kind of just like we hear heard a Prince in the Time song. It's like, oh, I want those drums. Or hear like a Billie song, and it's like, I would love the softness of this impact and the vocal and the way it carries over and stuff like that. Or just like every moment of all kinds of music is what we just collect little shiny bits of all kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
I think that makes for a really interesting and like dynamic sound.
Well, thank you.
What's your making music process right now? Like, do you both write the lyrics and then you go on to the instrumentals, or what's the...
Yeah, I feel like it's really fun because it's starting to change a lot. we recently kind of, within the last year or so, became like a two-piece, and that has a lot of setbacks as well as a lot of advantages, I feel like, because now, Kyle and I, our process per se is like Kyle or I will, kind of come up with an idea on our own, or maybe together, maybe just like a little idea or like a 4-bar loop or whatever.
And it's always different too. It could be as simple as a voice memo and some chords.
Yeah, right. Or just a little, like a
beat
loop
or a little
or
beat
something like that.
Yeah.
Like, do we see anything with this? And then I think what's cool about the two of us working together is that we both can go through the process together, as opposed to like an entire band. We kind of ran into that with being with like 4-piece and everything, where it was tough to have too many cooks in the kitchen, sort of. That was the issue.
And it's just, we both understand each other's like finite kind of amount of time that we're excited about something.
Right.
The way we work on stuff is fairly fast paced, I would assume.
Yeah.
Just because we're like really excitable when we're working. We're kind of just like, we're really physical with the way we work. We're bouncing back and forth between instruments and up and down off the desk and everything like that. And
well, I mean, and we'll look at the clock sometimes and like it's just so late, and then I'm like, all right, we got to call it a night because we'll just keep going and going and going.
What seems like an hour was like 6 hours.
Yeah,
for
right.
Sometimes. So,
but yeah, I mean, like to answer your question, the process is like, to get back to that.
Yeah.
The process is always changing. It's never like a set thing, but I feel like right now where we're at, it's kind of like the two of us just collaborating all the time.
But that's working for us. So it changing in all these small ways all the time has just, it's revealed a lot of new habits, and we never approach a song the same way, which is, I think is an asset to us, and we should kind of keep that in mind as we keep moving.
How has lockdown changed things for you? Obviously not touring, but has it made anything else more difficult, like making music videos? Or
I mean, it's a little bit of everything, isn't it? It's just kind of like,
I feel like there's compromises in every single aspect of it. Obviously, as everybody has it bad right now. I feel like,
I mean, but without saying, like, the two of us we have to, like, on a daily basis, we recognize like the privilege and the just the sheer luck that we have to kind of be able to go about our normal lives still, even though like tens of thousands of people are affected in much bigger ways than us just not being able to hit the road. We're trying to be aware of that and trying to remind ourselves that it's not like, we're, in the grand scheme of things, we're a lot luckier than most people right now.
No, I think that's the right mindset to have. Just focus on what you're grateful for, the positive things. Yeah.
We're still able to release music, engage with our fans. We have a heavy dialogue with our people over Twitter and on Discord and the internet in general.
I feel like now, in more than ever, not saying this is a good time for this to happen, because obviously it's never a good time for something.
Yeah.
I feel like now more than ever, in this day and age, like being able to just release music from your bedroom is something that's a really, really good asset for the music industry, I feel like, because stuff can keep going even though a lot of things are like shut down. To go back to just like, I feel lucky every day that I get to do this, and the fact that we like with this EP that we're putting out right now, we were able to film 6 music videos for that, some of which aren't out yet, but we all did that before, like months prior to any of this happening. So we're like, wow, we kind of dodged a bullet on that one. And everything, it's just, you can't do that right now.
It was, as it's, to curtail that, it's frustrating that we thought it was kind of just like the best laid plans of mice and men, right? And this year, we literally had every single month up until the year was over, just like blocked out, like everything was set in stone, like this is what's happening, this is what our goals are, this and then as the world just started to like vibrate like harder and harder and harder and harder. Okay, so we can do like 2 or 3 of these things.
Yeah, right.
Everything else is kind of like,
cross it off. Maybe next year.
Yeah. It's definitely frustrating because this is like everything to us. We're just kind of trying to roll with the punches, stay creative, stay not kind of just like bow out. You know what I mean?
So much can just be done online, and I think that having an online presence as a band is really important more than ever. I think a lot of bands are struggling and like trying to figure out how to have like more of an online presence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, to point out, I love our cute banners.
We both do.
We're in our studio right now, and
is this backwards for you?
No, I thought the same thing, because for me mine's backwards. When the video's done, it'll be right side. Okay, so last question of this little segment. When you were touring and stuff, what's like your favorite venue that you performed in?
We can always give it a hometown.
I mean,
shout out.
the best venue, we love to play at the Crowbar in Tampa. They're so good to us there.
in Tampa, yeah.
They're so good to us there.
It's really a shame that they're falling on some hard time. I mean, all of these independent venues right now. They recently just put a thing on Instagram about how, it's just one owner of the club, and he just put something out that was just like it was very emotional, because he's like, I put my life into this, and now, it's obviously having no shows for 5 months now. Like, that's just gotta be so rough.
Yeah. Okay, on to the game. So this is most likely to, I'm just gonna kind of rapid fire go through this list.
Okay.
Most likely to forget an important event.
That's you. That's
me?
you, 100%. Yes.
I would say you. Why would you say me?
Well, because first of all, you don't properly add things to the calendar.
All right. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. I'll accept that one. We have a shared calendar just so we can like really plan out our days, and I don't really know how to use the Apple Calendar, so I will like add stuff to Kyle's calendar.
Just today, early this morning, I just got a bunch of notifications on my phone. It was like added to Kyle, added to Kyle, added to Kyle. I was like, why do these are your things? Like,
yeah.
That's great.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that one out.
Most likely to oversleep their alarm.
Kyle,
that's me.
that is so
That's
Kyle.
me.
We have had so many times that's happened. We were meeting with just to give a tiny little backstory. When we were writing this EP, we were having a meeting with we somehow got this meeting with it's our buddy, his name's Ruslan, and he produced part of our EP. Very important.
Yes.
I would say a very important meeting to be at. So I think the meeting was at like 8:30 in Nashville.
Which, by the way, that's early.
That is early, yeah. But the question was, do you sleep through your alarm? So I'm calling Kyle. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to have to go by myself. And one of our managers guessed his iCloud password and pinged his phone. Like, you know how you do that where it's like...
it's like a really loud alarm thing.
So he did that a couple times.
Only thing that woke me up.
And Kyle was only a few minutes late.
Okay, and for context too, because of that, with that meeting, my feet didn't touch the ground until I got there. I was so fast. I literally flew out of bed like that, and in one foul swoop, put all my clothes on, hit the door, and I was yeah.
And it's like, I ran into some traffic on the way here.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Most likely to fall off the stage.
I would also say Kyle.
Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, whatever.
Kyle's done that a few times.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one specific time.
I haven't fallen off the stage, certainly, but I've fallen on stage off of other things.
We have a couple like road cases and stuff that we put on stage, or even like my kick drum head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He'll get up there sometimes, and I always am a little bit nervous when you do that. Yeah. That's Kyle for sure.
Yeah.
You're taking the lead on a lot of these.
I know.
Yeah.
So most likely to become addicted to their social media.
That's you, 100%.
I go on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
you don't want
addicted
to see his screen time. You don't want to. That's
my screen time's pretty bad,
Yeah.
especially right now because of everything going on.
I think you can have a pass for right now, though.
Right. Yeah. I'm addicted to TikTok.
I know.
I just downloaded it. I held out for as long as I could.
I feel like I did too, and I got into it, and I don't want to admit the anxiety I had when Trump was like, "Yeah, we're banning it in the U.S." I was like, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
On my watch.
That's cause for concerns for so many other multi-layered reasons too. But like, just our like. We kind of just have to be on our phones all the time, which sucks. Like that is
social media is kind of part of the job description now. Being in a band, like you said, keeping an online presence is like super obviously beneficial for times.
Almost
like
anything, any small business.
You're just pushing brand recognition, and we want to like ideally DBMK is as much of a band as it is a brand too. So it's kind of that like we try to walk that line.
But then bottom line, it's probably me. I'll admit it. I'd be addicted.
What about most likely to get a tattoo on a whim?
Because I have
Yeah.
whim tattoos already. So
Okay.
Yeah, I got a couple, but I mean, like, I kind of did the second one I got was kind of on a whim.
Yeah.
I just got one within a week. I feel like that's a whim, but Kyle really wants to go get like tattoos one day.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I want to get yet, and that kind of stresses me out a little
Like
bit.
something
But
that you both have?
yeah, something we would both get together. But yeah, I don't know. I like to put a little bit more thought into it.
Well,
I literally have one tattoo. It is small ellipses. I thought about it for 2 years before I got it.
Right.
Because I'm like, I'm that end of the spectrum.
But the irony of like you waiting so long to decide on it, and then it's an ellipses, the most like unassuming of punctuations, and you're like, I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm gonna get. Then you get like a thing that's literally just means like
I love it.
Yep.
I'm definitely right there with you, though.
Most likely to get scared after watching a horror movie.
that's you, because you don't even like horror.
You know what? I'm getting better at horror movies.
What was the last horror movie you watched?
Is
I've been
Midsummer a horror movie?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched it like not that
Okay.
long ago. Don't get mad at me.
I've been trying to. I want to watch horror movies.
Yeah, it's probably me. I don't really like. I'll watch them, but actually, you know what? I went and saw It 2.
Yeah.
The second one
Oh, I didn't see the second one.
in the theaters on like at midnight. Me and my girlfriend and a couple of our friends went, and it was really scary. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, and then last one, most likely to get lost.
I mean, I don't know about you, but
I've never really been lost.
I don't know if I've been lost, but I think the reason I've never been lost is because I use Apple Maps like wherever I go. And I get yelled at by you, I get yelled at by Phil, my girlfriend, because I moved up here to Nashville like a year ago, so I'm still trying to like learn everywhere, you know,
Yeah.
and, like everywhere. So yeah, I would say me.
Yeah.
Would you say me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's inevitable. People get lost. It happens.
Yeah.
Right.
But when we're together, we're never lost.
We're never lost.
Next set of questions. What drew you to making music in the first place, each of you?
I mean, if I didn't, I don't know what. Like, I'd probably explode into like really messy.
The tiny pieces.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've kind of always been singing and making songs and stuff like that. And then I didn't really want to do for me, I just kind of figure out like how to make a song, and then like, oh, I don't want to do anything else. This is the only thing that like really makes me like on fire, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
Yeah, and I feel like for me, I grew up. It's funny because neither of us have like musical parents at all.
yeah.
Both my parents work in finance, and my entire family is basically just that like white collar type people that work in offices. I always just kind of saw myself like, I really don't want to do that like at all. Like, I don't want to have a job like that I go to suit and go do my thing. It's like, I got into playing the drums very early, and my parents signed me up for drum lessons and everything. And I really enjoyed playing the drums, but I didn't realize how much I didn't realize how much I loved like making music.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked to play my instrument, and I would do it at school and at home and everything. But then it wasn't until around the time that I joined DBMK for the tour that kind of Kyle mentioned a little earlier, that I really enjoyed like making my own music and being able to collaborate with people. And so yeah, I mean, it was probably, that's how I came into like really wanting to make music.
Right.
But I've been playing music my whole life, and I think both of us kind of share that, where it's kind of like, I don't know what else I'd be doing.
Yeah,
You know what
literally,
I mean?
I can't think of anything else.
I don't have I'll do this instead. Like,
Right,
it's
and
pretty much this.
that's something we both connected on pretty early on. It was
Yeah.
like literally when we first met, we realized that neither of us had like a plan B whatsoever. It was just like, this is it. This is the only thing, and we're gonna do it whether anyone likes it or not. You know,
Right.
we do it even if no one was looking. So, that's what it is.
Yeah, I think that's how you know you're doing the right thing then.
Yeah.
Right.
What did you guys listen to growing up?
Well, you have a more concise answer for this, I feel like.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, grew up listening to a lot of what was played in my house and like in my parents' cars and stuff was, interestingly enough, like just this early 2000s like rock stuff.
And like he honestly, the way he's explained it to me is his parents showed him like alternative music at a very young.
My dad, I would like give so much credit to my dad for just having all these like CDs in his car. Like I listened to a lot of Blink-182, a lot of Good Charlotte, Linkin Park. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. A lot of Linkin Park, just like kind of heavier stuff. And my mom like wasn't into that at all. So the time like whenever my dad had to bring me to school or bring me anywhere, bring me to like sports practices and stuff, that's just what was on all the time. And so all of those music, like all those bands and stuff, are very drum heavy. So I think that's what got me into the drums. But yeah, it was a lot of that stuff. And then for some reason, my mom just really likes Christmas music. So a lot of Christmas music.
Yeah, and that's kind of why our music sounds the way it does too.
Yeah.
It has like a Christmas.
Christmas
album.
Yeah.
I wasn't shown a lot of music when I was growing up. It was pretty selective. My earliest musical memory actually of like hearing a song just being like, oh my god, this is, I don't know, and how can human beings do this? I was actually Kids by Prince. My mom was playing it in the car, and I didn't know what to think of it. It was the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. And generally speaking, my grandparents kind of
your grandma played a lot.
Yeah, my grandma played a lot of. She had such an eclectic music taste. It was just a lot of jazz, a lot of really lyrical, like heavy, dark jazz, like and a lot of soul music, a lot of just like Black American music. As I was growing up, that was kind of just like what my grandparents listened to, and I've loved jazz ever since I was a kid, because that was just like really the first musical language that I kind of started to understand.
Yeah.
And it's jazz, and all those like everything we do comes from like Black American musical traditions. It's crazy. So we're just owe everything to that, honestly.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever dealt with anxiety or stage fright?
I don't know if it's anxiety or if it's.
Yeah.
We talk about when we do feel nervous about stuff, we try to like turn that into excitement. I have
use the nerves to your advantage.
Right.
Yeah, kind of just let it
just go a little bit harder on stage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely do like suffer with that a little bit, not suffer, but you know what I mean. When you're on like a long tour, like a 4-week or 6-week tour or whatever, you get like that comes a lot more naturally. Like when you're going on stage every single night, you try to make it not feel like, not mundane, but just like the same.
You don't want to get too comfortable.
Yeah, you never want to get comfortable. But I will say, like, we've done some like bigger festivals here and there that will make you nervous for sure. I don't know about you, but like,
there's a lot of waiting around, and you're just like seeing everybody. Like we take this obviously very seriously, but like when you're in that space and you're like, oh, these people just kind of have done this for so long, and oh wow, like that person like inspired so much of what we do and stuff like that. There's
talking about like bigger artists.
There's just a different precedent surrounding that, so you're kind of just like, I need to show up, or like I don't belong here. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's almost, this is the proving grounds in a way, even though none of those people care. It's just about whether or not you like play a good show.
That would for sure get me nervous. But you know, like a lot of times it's more excitement. Like Kyle said, like when we'll play our hometown, which is like St. Pete, Florida, Tampa, Florida, like the Tampa Bay area, you know, we have a lot of like day one people that have really, even like before I was
like
around,
day one
people that really like discovered the project, and I get like fell in love with it. So it's really cool to have them around, and like always doing a show like that that's just packed out and everybody's there to like to just have a good time. It's awesome.
And when we see people too
that's more excitement.
Yeah, that have when we see people that have been to multiple shows, we're familiar with them, they're familiar with us. Like it almost makes it a little bit. It takes the edge off a little bit. It's kind of like, okay, like, it's almost, we're among friends here. Like everybody.
Right. Yeah, it's funny when that feels so much better. But then when you're going on at a festival, it's like half these 3/4 of the people don't know who we are
and don't really want to see us.
They don't care. They care about the next
band,
the next
person
person
or whatever, you know. So,
Yeah.
and that's the case too when you're supporting a larger artist too.
That's
which is often the case that we find ourselves in. People are kind of just like, who are these guys? Who do they think they are? You know what I mean? So there's a little bit of a
you got to prove yourself.
Yeah,
every night.
you kind of have to be like, it's okay. Like you can let, you know, like
Love us or hate us.
Yeah, we'll try our best. So
yeah.
Next is the AskReddit game, which is just I went on r/AskReddit and picked out some questions for us to answer. What's something you're extremely passionate about, like a show, a beverage, whatever it is?
Oh, okay. Well, you have taken up this new hobby.
We've both kind of been talking about this lately, and because we have a little bit, like, we rarely have like free time, but since we have a little bit more time to be flexible with, I really started getting into cooking. I'm kind of just, I'm like, I make food all the time, but it was getting so pedestrian, and it was getting just like, how many different ways can I make kind of the same stuff? And I was just kind of like, I like the way that we kind of both live our lives right now is like, when we're done making music, we just kind of make more music. So like, I feel like I need to be obsessed with something else too. And like,
hobbies are definitely important. I think both of us are kind of like realizing that recently.
Yeah.
Kyle's super into cooking, and I'm trying to get into like, I really want to start, I've been like running recently, which is like that, I find that as like a hobby because it's just like a fun thing to go do, and you get exercise. But I'm also trying to get really into like reading a lot too, just to like, I feel like that would kind of inspire like writing music a lot, like, and just everything.
I mean, just like
enriching knowledge.
Even Michael Jordan played golf.
Yeah,
you know, right. Like the best to ever do it also did another thing that was just, it didn't matter. Like,
you need something to like take your
yeah,
for a little bit.
You didn't have to be the best at it, you know. And music making these days, or like commercial music making, is so athletic in nature. Almost, it's like, who can be the best, the fastest? Who can like win the rat race? You know what I mean? With this era of streaming as we find ourselves in, and I sound like such a boomer, like kind of just like that, but like it is true. It's just kind of like, and we have the Spotify CEO the other day that was just kind of saying some weird stuff about how we need to work harder, and it's like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah,
that's some dry humor. But
yeah.
We did not talk to the Spotify CEO.
Well, no, he made it. I didn't talk to him. He made an actual statement saying.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. It's
oh.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So yeah, cooking, running / reading.
Yes.
Yeah.
Extracurriculars.
Yeah. That was something else I was going to ask, was like, have you picked up any new hobbies during lockdown? Because that's like such a common thing. People are like making sourdough and starting a garden and stuff.
I would love to like, yeah. I mean, like, those are probably the thing. Yeah, because when you have this much like quote unquote free time, where it's like you're at home so much, you can't just put 100% of that into, you know, doing one thing. Like you kind of have to spread it out a little bit.
I mean, it's just, isn't it better to be a more well-rounded person?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, I don't know.
What did you hate the most about school?
Were we talking about this the other day, or was it somebody else?
Oh yeah, we were talking about
like high school.
Here's what we share this sentiment too. Okay, I want to figure out how I want to phrase this. I believe that in Western schooling tradition, there exists people that are kind of just better at school, right? That isn't necessarily.
They're good at like taking tests.
The way it's set up favors them.
It's not necessarily like a real measure of intelligence. It's just like, I mean, an analogy that a lot of people have used. It's like if you line up a goldfish in a bowl, a cat and a monkey and a frog, and it's like, okay, I need everybody to climb up this tree.
Who's going to be better at
it? Like some people can do it perfectly, and it's effortless, and it comes naturally to them, and they know how to kind of like do.
Well, what you're trying to say is like some people can be like really smart and not be good at school. Yeah. Right. And so I don't think it's a great way of like really, I don't know if there is like a good way to like test like knowledge like that.
Yeah, and that's not to say like it's not to say that we have the solution, but it's like I became aware of that in my junior year of high school, and I was like, wait a second, this is so apparent to me. It's so obvious that I could pick out friends of mine that were like, you're good at school, you know how to work the system. This guy doesn't so much. I definitely did not. I was not good at school. I didn't really want to be there. I really just kind of was just like trying to do it enough, just do enough. And
absolutely. I think a lot of people know like that one person that was just so smart but had average or terrible grades, and just there was like not really an explanation for it.
Right.
That's really funny. My answer was just there being only one right answer, so kind of similar. Like there's no standardized. You can't standardize tests. Like it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
For everybody.
Right. I don't know. I really hated like I don't know about you or you had to wake up pretty early for school, right?
I had to wake up really early because I went to a school that was further away too.
I had to wake up at 5:45 every day for school, which is probably
I get up at like 4:45.
All right, yeah. But I remember thinking in high school and like freshman year, sophomore year, I'm like, I can't do this forever. Like I can't. Like this is so. I would wake up. I think the angriest I am ever. Like I said, I'm non-confrontational. The angriest you'll ever see me is when I have to wake up that early for anything.
You're really not a morning. I mean,
I like to be a morning guy, but I'm just really not. So, but the funny thing is, when you get to be an adult, as all of us are finding out, it's not like that. You don't have to wake up unless you have a job that is doing that. But it's like, you don't usually have to wake up at like 5 for every single day.
And then expect to be on and functioning and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. And then like my first class I was in like school band, so I would have band practice before school. But I don't know. What I'm trying to get at is like, I don't know how you can expect like 14-year-olds to just be so chipper. Yeah. I'm excited to be learning about biology right now at 5 in the morning.
Right.
So.
One of the best things I learned in high school, senior year psychology class, was the fact that certain age you need more sleep. Like your brain is just set up to where you go to sleep later and then you sleep later, you sleep in the morning. Right. And I was like, then why does class start at 7:20 a.m.? Right. Like that makes no sense.
Well, it's crazy to see some high schools that in certain counties that they're like, all right, we're going to try to do like a start time at like 9:45 or whatever.
Right.
And go like 4:30 or 5 p.m. Yeah. And the test scores have arguably been like much higher than schools that just stay the normal way.
But that's tough at the same time. Like, I mean, there's a lot of people that had to have jobs in high school, and like, like there's so many people that those jobs are required to like honestly support the family too, and it's a large.
That's true.
Part.
I feel like it's just a rough thing to cap it off. I feel like it's a complicated thing that we haven't figured out as a society yet. Right. But I'm just glad I'm not in high school anymore.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, honestly.
Me too. Absolutely. Okay, so here's a subjectively lighter or heavier question. It is said that for every human on Earth, there are 1.4 million ants. Supposed ants were to attack us. How are you prepared to deal with your 1.4 million?
So each person is essentially like assigned 1.4 million ants that attack them.
Yes.
Like, how would do I currently have to be prepared, or can I like?
This is how you get prepared.
How would you handle that situation?
How would you handle it?
Okay, first wetsuit. Neoprene wetsuit.
Ants hurt. Ants suck.
Yeah.
I have ant bites on me right now.
Dude, with enough ant bites,
you could die.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
1.4 million is a lot.
Yeah, and that also suggests that there's like different types of ants that are just like
it's not all the same
brown guys. It's
red ants are
Maybe fire ants or ghost ants.
Those ones,
probably neoprene wetsuit and then heavy boots. And
I'd say to add on like a flamethrower or something like that to get them off.
Yeah. It can
I don't condone killing animals, but I don't really like
if they're
cats.
attacking.
Yeah, if they're attacking me.
In this situation, it's okay, you know.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, they answered attacking, like, we have to kill them.
Right. Self-defense.
Yeah, I mean, the flamethrower, that's great because it depends on the proximity from ant to ant, right?
Do they all come at once? Are you getting one at a time?
Waves, like, is it like
I'm freaking
balloons?
out.
Are they organized?
Right. Remember Balloons Tower Defense? You ever played that game?
No.
Oh, dude.
That's a good one. It's where, yeah.
Coolmathgames.com. Go play some Balloons Tower Defense.
Did you ever do math games?
Okay.
That was a lot.
Yeah. What was that game with the
Oh, I know.
the blocks?
Yeah.
Yeah, that game was.
And it rolls.
So good,
yeah.
yeah.
That's. But yeah, so wetsuit, flamethrower, boots,
Heavy boots.
goggles, just like.
and I just take it. I just be like, come at
Yeah.
me.
We have to dress like goth divers with like flamethrowers.
Yeah. I
Well,
like it. Locking.
Yeah, locking.
The world is ending. What song is playing in the credits?
Remind me.
It is.
I know. It's that that Pixie song from Fight Club.
I don't know that song.
Or Dark Knight Demo by Trippie Redd and Travis Scott.
No, but this is like a finale song. I don't know. You stumped me with this one.
It's a very hard question.
Here's the end credits.
I mean, to me, it's the Pixies.
all right, yeah, we'll go with that one.
Yeah.
The
I like it.
Pixies.
All right. Well, that was the end of Ask Reddit.
Thank you, Reddit.
So is there anything you'd like to promote right now?
We do have like 2 more songs coming out, and yeah, we're really excited about that. We got music videos coming with both of them, but we got music videos coming with both those songs. I'll lay it all out on the table. I mean, just like it's gonna be a really fun year regardless of what's happening. You know, we've been kind of like writing this EP for like a year now. Like a year ago is when we were like creating all these songs. So it's really cool to see them all. You know, we've had them close to us for so long.
Yeah.
It's very cool to get them out and share them with everybody and see
And they
what
take
people
on a
think.
new life.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
the fans just like bring them to a whole different space, a whole new heights.
And you better believe when touring comes back,
Oh my God, we're
hitting
so
the-
hard.
we're
Oh
hitting
my God.
hitting the road.
The
so.
entire time we're gonna be on tour, my face is just gonna be like beet red. I'm just gonna be like so
Yeah.
angry the whole time. Just like I have to. We're gonna. It's
We're gonna rage.
Yeah,
Go all out. Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Cool. Well, that's the end of the podcast, guys. Thank you so much for coming on, and hope it was pretty fun.
We had a great time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's very fun.